The American Bonanza Society and the ABS Air Safety Foundation present the ABS Hanger. This installment, Push and Hold. Whether you're flying a Bonanza or Debonair, or you are at the controls of a Baron or Travelair, you must be extremely vigilant during takeoff and initial climb. When training with an instructor on board, we expect to be challenged with unusual situations and simulated emergencies. Once out of the training environment, however, we naturally expect everything to work correctly and the airplane and engine to perform well. This can lead to a false sense of security, an attitude of complacency that causes us to let our guard down during this critical phase of flight. But what if you've just lifted off and may or may not have retracted the landing gear? When you experience a loss of engine power, what is the critical thing you need to do? Single engine or twin, the first thing you must do if an engine fails is to fly the airplane. If airspeed is slow and/or angle of attack is high, push the controls to obtain the proper attitude and airspeed for glide or single engine flight. Simultaneously, use rudder and coordinated aileron to hold heading. Push and hold to maintain airspeed and control to fly the airplane. In a Bonanza or Debonair, push the nose down to about 5 degrees below the horizon. It takes a roughly 5-degree nose down attitude to maintain best glide speed in a clean configuration. If the landing gear is still extended, this will result in approximately the landing without power speed. Essentially, make it look like the attitude required for a short field landing. Simultaneously apply rudder as needed to hold heading. Keep ailerons neutral, like you do in stall recoveries, to prevent a cross-controlled stall. Once you have the nose-down attitude established, you may use aileron and rudder normally for heading, bank, and crosswind control. Then, flare is necessary to touch down at the normal landing speed. If time permits, extend full flaps. In fact, one of the best things you can do to prepare for engine failure in a Bonanza or Debonair is to regularly practice power-off short-field landings, so you'll know what it looks like to land following an engine failure. In a Baron or Travelair, push the nose down to just slightly above the horizon. A 3-degree nose-up attitude results in blue line speed with one propeller windmilling. Simultaneously apply rudder as needed to hold heading. Keep ailerons neutral, like you do in stall recoveries, to prevent a cross-controlled stall. Once you have the nose-down attitude established, you may use aileron and rudder normally for heading, bank, zero side slip, and crosswind control. If the landing gear is still down, climb is unlikely. Reduce both throttles to idle and push the nose farther down to a landing attitude. Then flare and land. If the landing gear is up, it may be possible to climb out on one engine. Follow the engine failure in flight procedure. We emphasize pushing the nose to the correct attitude because even the best pilot takes a second or two to recognize an engine failure and then to respond. During that time, you'll be likely to tense up on the controls, holding the nose up and allowing the airspeed to decrease while the angle of attack increases. By the time you respond, it will take a swift push on the controls to recover from this nose-high, low-speed, high angle of attack condition. At the same time, hold heading with rudder while keeping ailerons near neutral to avoid a cross-controlled stall. If you push and hold, you'll have the flying speed and angle of attack necessary to execute whatever options you have available, whether that means landing straight ahead, maneuvering slightly to land off airport, or climbing out on one engine in a twin. The airplane may be damaged, but if you fly the airplane and touch down wings level, under control, at the slowest safe speed, and the airplane occupants are wearing shoulder harnesses, you and your passengers have the best chances of emerging unhurt. If you do not push and hold, you will likely stall or lose directional control of the airplane without enough altitude to recover. You won't have the opportunity to pursue any of the survival options that might otherwise be available to you and those aboard your aircraft. Whether in singles or twins, every time you line up to take off, remember the most important thing in the event of an engine failure. Push and hold to maintain airspeed and control to fly the airplane. Learn much more about flying, maintaining, and owning a Beechcraft on the ABS website, www.bonanza.org. If you're not already a member, become one now. Thanks for watching. Join us again next time in the ABS hangar.